So you're mentoring your kids at home. I want to pivot into how you are mentoring your pupils at the core
Yeah.
and your team at your office.
Yeah, great. In the office, I know that we talked about leads solve all problems.
Yep.
Right? More leads,
More closings.
more closings.
Yep.
Right? So I need to know what my guys' leads are on a weekly basis, that they're hitting their weekly goals, and having them in.
These are your guys at your office.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're turning in lead trackers, greatness trackers. They're making Monday realtor calls, Tuesday status calls, Wednesday TBD pre-approval calls, Thursday past client calls, Friday VIP calls. Right, they're on the same plan.
Okay.
Theme days, making those calls, turning in their homework every 2 weeks, being coached, being fined if they don't do their homework.
Okay.
Right.
What does a fine look like?
Results through accountability.
Okay.
Right. It depends.
Yeah.
Back when Aaron was broke, closing 4 or 5 loans a month, his fine was seeing I'm a Barbie girl in a skirt and a red pink wig or whatever on social media. Now it might
I
be.
thought he was doing that beforehand.
He probably was. Now it might be a $500 fine for not making all his calls, or $200 fine for not making all his calls.
And making certain that there's an accountability partner. Are you their accountability partner?
Yeah, they've got me as an accountability partner. They have the other loan officers they're competing with.
Okay, within the
they're
office.
on a call within the office, and then they have their coach, my buddy, that I coach his LOs and he coaches mine. Right? He has Brian is his name, as accountability.
And are you deepening the relationships with them outside of the office as well? And if so, what are you doing?
Yeah, great question. I think a weekly or monthly meeting to get one-on-one time over breakfast or outside of the office, so that you can really just talk about the person and get to know them. Aaron and I, like in the office, I'm boss. I do more deals. I close more business, so I'm boss, and he looks up to me, right? And he's on my heels right now.
Yep.
Maybe going to beat me, right? So
he's
I'm
probably
super
out
proud.
calling your listing agents right now.
He's probably calling my agents because I'm in here. It's Monday.
That's right.
What is today? Monday?
I don't know. What
Wednesday?
is it?
I don't know.
Yeah. They all run together.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
One or the other. So, in the office, I'm boss as it relates to work. And then Aaron's a super fit guy, played very competitive 6A high school football. And we work out together. We go trail run together. We have
your buds outside the office.
Yeah, I got a boot camp guy that trains the team twice a week. At 4 o'clock, we work out in the parking garage. And, my only job is to push Aaron, like almost keep up with Aaron, sometimes beat Aaron, right? To get my trainer to say, good job.
Yep.
And Aaron to say, man, you pushed it today.
It's almost like y'all have a big brother, little brother type relationship. Is that kind of how you feel about that?
I certainly feel like he's a brother to me, for sure.
Yeah.
To watch his journey from, starting to work for me at $40,000 a year to making,
40 grand a week,
40 grand a month.
Yeah.
Right. It's just been so fun to watch him go from this single guy that drank and partied, and to see him now, he's been sober for, I think, 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and watch him become engaged and start to become this family guy, watch him buy a couple homes. And I'm just super proud of his growth.
Yeah. And so when you're mentoring your team, and you have the other team members, that you are clearly mentoring from a leadership perspective, but also life skills, right? Because you're a role model for them, whether you know it or whether you want to accept it. It's true. They see all of your actions in and outside of the office. So for you, how important is that for you to exude the leadership skills in and outside the office?
So I don't think of myself, first of all, as a leader, right? I think that's something I want to aspire to be.
Okay.
I think my leadership style is probably first and foremost. If you think about different leadership styles, there's a dictator leadership style, right? Do this because I said so. That doesn't really work, right? And then there's example leadership, and that's just getting out in the trenches and doing the work, and you inspire others because you're doing it yourself. I'm not willing to ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself, right?
Yep.
And then I think really what we're after, and I know this is important to you as well, and what I'm after is really being more of what we call a servant leader.
Okay.
Right? Where I care about them, I care about their well-being, I'm serving and loving on them, and they rise up because of it, right? They
Yeah.
feel like they belong and they want my approval,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's what helps them grow. That's what builds a great organization is that,
Mm-hmm.
we're a family, we
Mm-hmm.
serve on each other, we serve our clients, and I think that servant leadership super important.
So you're 47? Is it
44.
44?
Thanks.
Okay, you look
Yeah.
47.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like doggy years, the
Yeah,
mortgage
doggy.
business. I'm
It
like
is. Oh my
250 in
God. Oh
doggy
my
year, in
God.
mortgage years.
Oh my God, you're ancient. So if you have, you don't consider yourself a leader, but you are. I think what I might rephrase that to from the outside in is that you're clearly a leader, but you're wanting to, just like with your production, you're wanting to constantly improve your skills year over year to be the better version of yourself as a leader. So trust me, you've got the leadership skills and you're doing a great job with that. If you have someone that is coming up through your team or someone that you're coaching that's an originator, they're doing well, now they have their skins on the wall and they're like, "Hey, I want to be a branch manager."
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
Yeah, let's build a team and start growing your production,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's get you to 20 loans a month. And then let's put a couple of junior loan officers underneath you and you start building and growing and show me you can do it.
Yep.
Right. And then you've got the formula to start to grow your own branch. Right.
Okay.
And so that's what I would tell them is, hey, get your production up to where you want it, make $1 million a year doing loans. And then let's talk about how to build passive income from growing a branch. And we can do that by you growing and developing team members into salespeople.
So you would embrace that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being a branch manager, what comes with that are all the responsibilities of leading a team, but also, as you had mentioned, the passive income. I would say it's probably passive active income, right?
It's like passive losses right now.
That's right.
Let's be clear. January and February
Yeah.
of 2023 is
Yep.
where we're at right now, and it's like passive losses. Yeah.
And I think it's important for that to also be a topic of conversation for those that are wanting to come up through the ranks. Yeah, it can be really, really good when you're crushing it. And being a branch manager, you're going to make that extra income and that extra comma on your W-2 or your 1099. But also be mindful, young buck, that when it's lean, it all falls on me as well. So we're in the red.
Right.
Let's
be clear. It's not a good time to be a branch manager or an owner right now. No. People aren't exactly standing in line to get a mortgage at 6.5%.
No, they're not seeing that.
No.
But you also explain to them and go, hey, this is the importance of a P&L. We have our personal P&Ls that we have to manage. But as a branch manager, I'm having to manage this business P&L for a company that has to manage their business P&L.
And they have shareholders.
That's
they
right.
are a for-profit business.
Yes.
Right? And so
Yes.
at some point, we got to step up and do more loans or I have to make tough decisions.
Yep.
Right? And I care about these guys are a family.
That's right.
I don't want to let somebody down and be a bum and lay somebody off. So we got to step up our game and go out and bring in the loans.
So what are you doing as far as investments are concerned, right? We've made some great money over the years. Where are you parking your money?
Yeah, great question. I've got some in real estate.
Okay.
I have a few rental properties. They're all single family homes.
Are they self-managed?
I manage them.
Okay.
That's right. And we've done well on them. I put them on a 15-year note.
Yep.
So what I did was I bought a house for each of my kids when they were about 2 years old so that when they graduated high school, that 15-year note would be paid off and there's their college savings, right?
Okay.
So I just did one for each kid. So my kids are about 3 years apart. So I have three rental properties, right?
Are they in Austin?
And they're all in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've all tripled in value, and the mortgages are almost paid off, right?
Okay.
Because I've got a 17-year-old, so that mortgage just about paid off.
Yep.
And then I have a almost 14-year-old, so we're
getting close
10
on that
years
one?
in or so
Yep.
on a 15-year note,
Okay.
right? So I think you should have exposure to real estate. We talked about Rick Ruby a little bit.
Yep.
He's my boss. I look up. He has more money than anybody else I know, and so I follow his money philosophy.
Okay.
Right.
And what is his money philosophy?
50%. Like philosophy is monthly investing.
Okay.
So dollar cost averaging over time. So the market's up, we're buying. The market's down, we're buying.
Okay.
And so the philosophy is save 20% and put it in the market.
Put it in the market.
That's
Okay.
right.
And is the market the stock market, the bond market?
That's
Okay.
right. And so
S&Ps?
specifically
Okay.
pick your 4 or 5 companies that are blue chip names, they're household names,
Yep.
right? And then the S&P 500. Like, how could you go wrong with the S&P 500?
Yeah.
If you look at the S&P, it's the who's who.
Well, and that's what the Oracle of Omaha says. Just
Warren Buffett,
worst case scenario, just follow the
all
S
of
and
it.
P.
He's leaving his entire fortion to be invested in the
Yeah.
S&P 500 and not think about it, right?
Not
So
even
if it's
think
good
about it.
enough for him,
Yep.
it's good enough for me.
He's done the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So are you investing in, and would Rick recommend to invest in, the blue chip stocks, but the ones that pay dividends and not worry about what the stock price is doing because they're long holds?
Sure. He would say pick what you like. For me, I use an iPhone, so I buy Apple.
Yeah.
For me, every other day, 3 boxes show up on my doorstep, so I buy Amazon.
There you go.
For me, when we need to go to the grocery store, I go to Costco and spend $500 on going there to pick up 2 things.
Yep.
Right? So I buy,
and you pay a membership
I
fee.
buy Costco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Ford. They're
Yeah.
cheap.
Yep.
So I buy Ford. They're getting into the electric space, right? And some people love Tesla. Some people love something else, right? But like, I don't think
Buy what you believe in, basically.
Ford's not going away. My
Yep.
kid drives a Ford Bronco, right?
Yep.
I like Ford. I believe in it.
Yep.
I use an iPhone. So, those are some of the ones that, and then I like Procter & Gamble because they make a whole bunch of the consumer staples that if you look at your toothpaste and your shampoo and your toilet paper,
Yep.
right?
Oil and gas isn't going anywhere, and
Oil
you
and
look at the
gas isn't
dividends
going
that they throw off. So the market, real estate. What about when you have a buddy that comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got this.
I need money.
Which
That happens too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I took a rule from my wife. She said, no is only 2 letters. Yes is 3 letters. It's a lot easier to say no. And I said, I know. I've heard that from you for years.
I like that. I've never heard that.
How about that,
Yeah.
right? But when you have someone that brings you maybe an investment opportunity, right, and it's not a traditional measure, are you doing any of that?
I've dabbled a little bit in that. I mean, my time and money needs to stay in doing loans.
Yep.
So I'm pretty focused on, like, I know how to do loans and do them well. So I probably don't have any business developing and getting distracted with other things that might be these long shot home runs. I know that doing loans and saving 20% and dollar cost averaging over time, will
what that
create
result
a
is.
multi-millionaire in 10 or 15 years, right? If you save 10 grand a month at a 10% return, it's 10 million bucks in about 12 years.
Wow.
10 grand a month.
And y'all do the math for your young loan officers that you're helping them with their
Save
investment
$1,000
skills.
a month. You can have $1 million in 12 years. If you earn 10%, you're probably going to earn 7%. So it might take 15.
Well, also be mindful of the fact that, like 401ks, are you invested in Guild's 401k plan?
That's right.
Do they do some sort of a match?
Some matching, so you're getting
You're automatically getting a 2-for-1 or whatever it is.
If you're in 30% tax bracket, and this is something that I teach my clients when they come in, I teach them about how owning a home is such a critical piece to their wealth accumulation, right? And then number 2, we need to have 3 to 6 months reserves so you don't ever get into credit card debt. So if you're in debt, we need to start overpaying your credit cards and get you out of credit card debt, right? Then number 3, we need to teach you about investing. And the first thing we do is max out your 401k because you're saving 30%.
Saving 30%,
taxes,
and it's free
and
money.
you get the match.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a 50% return on
Yes.
every dollar. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
You do it, right? And then we start teaching them about putting money into the stock market. Pick a couple stocks in the S&P